welcome to the next video. On this one I'm going to be answering the question, how did I find a place to live? Well, as I mentioned in prior videos, my buddy slash ex-college roommate, we'll just call him Matthew. Hey Matt. He and his wife, or now wife, Chinese girlfriend at the time, were kind enough to help me with that. So what we did is we went to a real estate agent and told them, they translated what type of place I was looking for, what area I was looking in, how much I was willing to pay, and so on. The agent then, for over the course of, I believe it was a week or 2 weeks, especially on weekends, on days that I had off or early part of the weekend, would schedule visits to different apartments to take a look at them. So I took a little longer than usual, simply because I wanted to see what my options were. So I looked in the building where my buddy was living, because it would have been very convenient to just be in the same building. Hey, if I have any problems, can you help me out with this? Also, it was close to where my job was. The rent was pretty reasonable, and it was also a popular place for expats to live in. That was Cheongji, Zhongxin, the famous Cheongji building, as many know, or infamous as some would say. So looked at 2 or 3 apartments there, went to another part of town where now there's a very nice luxury, well, not luxury, but a very, very busy mall or slash mall areas, and a couple other parts of the city, a couple walk-ups, which are like 2 to 5 story buildings, apartment buildings that have no elevator, thus why they're called walk-ups. Very traditional style. And landlord would be there, look around, make sure they had all the amenities like a washing machine. Dryers are still very rare in a lot of parts of China and in Asia in general. So you mostly sun dry your clothes, and there'll usually be an area to do that. So, looked around, asked questions, told them whether I liked the place or not, and so forth. No different than most other countries. Once I decided to settle on a particular place, which ended up being the same building as my friend, then it was just a matter of sitting down with the landlord, filling out the paperwork. They explained to me, they explained to my friend and his girlfriend, now wife, Hannah, hello, that, what the process was, all the different provisions in the contract, because usually you sign for about a year contract. The longer you sign, the better discount you get on your rent. So I settled for a year because my work contract was a year, so if I didn't like the lifestyle, didn't like the work, lost my job, whatnot, I wouldn't be tied to an excessively long period. And paid the deposit, and that was it. So fairly easy process, fairly short video, but something just worth mentioning in case you're wondering, how did you, a non-Chinese speaker, find a place there? Well, that's how you do it. Many years later, when I had moved back to China, which I probably talk about in another video, the process was even easier. There were more agents that were bilingual, a lot more websites that had English and language support. In many cases, the schools, training centers, or places that you work at will have somebody from HR who will help you. Usually they'll do 1 or 2 days of assistance. They're not going to handhold you for weeks on end. They'll just say, here are the 3 or 5 places that are available. Which one do you want? And then you make your decision. So I was very fortunate that I had somebody who was very patient and very generous with their time, help me find my place. Anyway, see you in the next video.